Yeah, man. I don't know what to do, man. My job fired me. I've been out of work for like 3 months. Nobody's hiring me. You know what I'm saying? I think my wife on the verge of leaving me. I don't know what to do, man. It's like every time I try to do something, everything just falls through. Every time I try to be positive, you know what I'm saying? Everything just falls through. Like I ain't got no type of motivation. I don't even know what to do, man. At this point, man, thoughts running through my head. You know what I'm saying? Like giving up. I really want to give up for real, man. I don't know what to do.
Just keep your head.
Yeah.
TB, what's happening?
You got it, man. One day at a time, my brother.
I hear you. I hear you. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is the opposite of giving up?
Not giving up.
You know it.
Well, to me, man, the opposite of giving up is perseverance.
There you go. Perseverance, endurance. And those are two qualities as believers that we gotta have. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? Because we're gonna go through stuff. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
If we're not going through it, it's because we're coming out of it. We're coming out or we're getting ready to go through it. And the Bible talks about that, man. We can find a lot on endurance and perseverance. And in the Bible, for example, in 2 Thessalonians 1:4, it says, therefore we ourselves boast about you in the churches of God for your steadfastness and faith in all your persecutions and the afflictions that you are enduring. And then we can look in Romans 5:3, which says that not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings. We rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance. And then James 1:3 says, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. So when we persevere through difficulties or weariness, we refuse to give up. Is that right?
Yo, absolutely.
And what God has called us to do encourages us to never give up. We gotta hang in there. Now, the easy part, Tracy, is to give up, right? But hanging in there and sticking with it, it's gonna build up our strength. It's gonna build up our power that we have. And you'll be surprised on what you'll be able to accomplish because you went through something.
Absolutely.
And in Galatians 6:9, it says, and let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due seasons we're gonna reap. We will reap if we do not give up. So, man, I just want to encourage people, just don't give up. Just keep going, keep pushing, keep working. It's all gonna pay dividends for you. What's your thoughts?
Man, I think I know you're right for a fact. And we've all had those times when we sometimes feel like we can't go any further. But I heard this message the other day, this statement, and it was profound. It's been with me for the last week, and I'm going to take ownership of it. And it said, I was listening to this pastor, and he says, when you're going through, it's either a blessing or a lesson.
Right.
Man, that was deep. I mean, so I look at when I'm going through or feel like giving up because of some struggles I'm going through, it's either blessing or lessons.
Right.
So either way, that's telling me this is not going to last always. This too shall pass. Yea, though I go through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not going to stop in it. I'm going to go through. So often, bro, we just stop. We give up. It's so easy to give up. And I'll give you an example with, I'll tell you, I've been married now 25 years.
Amen.
And I'll tell you, my first 7 years of marriage, it was rough, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, Doc. There were some times I'm like, I don't need this.
You was ready to give up.
Bruh, are you with me? Yeah, you feel like I can let this go. And that's that stinking thinking. I got this
Mhm.
here, Dre, and it's talked about 6 reasons why people give up.
Mhm.
Man, check this out. One said that they lack self-confidence.
Yeah,
So if anybody out there who's listening to us, sometime we can lack the self-confidence. What do you think about that, that self-confidence?
that's important, man. What I do today, and I've started this in the past couple weeks, is to have positive self-talk and to
Mm,
build up my self-confidence because man, that if you don't believe in yourself, then who else will, right? That's important.
right. Absolutely. Now I can tell you, I'm give everybody a tidbit, something I've learned that it's like a little muscle that you can work in your life that'll help you here is, so how do you build your self-confidence? Check this out.
Hmm.
Your self-confidence comes from the trials and tribulations because you've overcame that and you made it. Are you
Right.
with me? Like
Yeah.
David, he fought before he fought Goliath. He had to go
Hmm.
through the bear too, right? In the
Yeah.
lion to get to
Yeah.
Goliath.
Yeah.
So check this out. One practice that a person can do every day is
What's
take
that?
one small risk a day and make common sense risk.
Hmm.
Something that you're afraid to come out of the box on.
Hmm.
Challenge yourself. Do it.
Hmm.
Oh, it could be reading the scripture. It could be saying, I'm sorry, something simple.
Hmm.
We're going to talk about forgiveness later. Just take a small risk every day, something. And you say, man, I
Hmm.
overcame that. So when something big come in your life, you won't be so what much of a pushover to give up. So that's
Yeah.
deep, man. That's what I thought.
It is deep, man. I tell young folks, your first win of the day
Mm-hmm.
is making your bed. Make your bed in the
Mm.
morning. Make your bed. Because you know what it's gonna do?
What's
It's
that?
gonna build up confidence in you. It's gonna build up your willpower. You're gonna know, you know what? I can accomplish that. It's just a small thing though. You see how small that is?
Very small.
Just making your bed. It's very small. But you went, but that's a win. Now
Mm.
you got one win under your belt. Now you can do something else, just a small thing, just get that done. Then another thing, the next thing you know, you got an avalanche. You're very
Wow.
successful at that point.
I like that, man. Second thing it says they prefer to stay in the comfort zone. That's why people give up. They
Hmm.
get comfortable. They
Yeah,
don't want to change. They're
yeah,
afraid of change.
yeah.
I'm honest. I've been that way. You know, something I know I really need to do. Right now,
Hmm.
I'm working on some things and within my company.
Hmm.
Um, I, I want to build my property management company a little stronger. Been in real estate 32 years. My property management about 17 to 18 years really at it, but not really doing it. Just kind of playing with it, having fun with it. Don't want to take it serious because I'm in the comfort zone, Drake. I'm
Hmm.
afraid of the change. I
Hmm.
get. Do you ever get comfortable like that, man?
Oh, we always get comfortable, and that's what can lead to failure.
Mm,
When you're comfortable, when you're afraid, I should say, afraid to take a risk, like you just mentioned.
yep.
When you take risk, you get out of your comfort zone. And again, we're talking about building self-confidence. So when you take that risk, you build your self-confidence, you're out of your comfort zone, you're able to accomplish more things, which again builds more confidence.
Wow.
It's like a
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah. Another thing it said why people give up out of the 6 reasons, they lack perseverance.
Oh
They
yeah,
lack the perseverance.
just talked about that.
Man, you're right. Another one, check this out. They do not believe in themselves. That's kind of like self-confidence in a sense here. You know, I heard
Hmm.
this story one time that in a circus, I'm gonna be very quick, in a circus, when an elephant is brought into this world, this elephant weighs tons. When he's little, they take and put a chain and a stop on the elephant's leg, and they
Yeah,
put the stake in the ground. And
yeah.
that elephant tugs as a baby and can't pull away from it. So now they can put this elephant in this gate, and this elephant weighs tons, Dre, and
Hmm.
he cannot, for the sake of him, they can keep that same little chain on him, and
Hmm.
he will not bust through that fence and terrorize nothing. And they said,
Yeah,
well, why will he not?
yeah.
Because he's been programmed. He doesn't
You've been
believe it.
conditioned. Yeah,
He's been conditioned. And
yeah.
so often that's why we give up. We've been
Hmm.
conditioned by society negativity. And sometimes, man, we're even conditioned by people around us, our
Yeah,
family members. And this is what
brainwash.
I'm going to. This will go to the next one here. It says another reason why people give up, they listen to the advice of others.
Mm,
That's deep, isn't it?
yeah.
And we do. We so often do. And guess who advice we listen to a lot of times? And I hate to
People we
say this,
shouldn't
Dre.
be.
Huh?
people we shouldn't be listening to.
And a lot of times it's our family, and they call themselves protecting you, but they never been where you're trying to go. So how can they help you?
Yeah,
Man,
it's tough.
that's deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the sixth one, Drake, we'll move on. They lack the motivation to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You ever notice that they don't want to work hard? People don't want to work hard, so they just give up and make an excuse.
They say they're tired, Tracy. They, exhaustion.
I tell you what, it's more exhausting being poor and not being able to survive, or not in your right frame, just being lazy, than it is trying.
Yeah.
Either way, you exhausted, right?
You know what's amazing is that when people try to set on new adventures, Tracy, one of the biggest things that cause them to fail is they start off running like super fast, going hard. Like when you start a business and you're out there, you're grinding and you're giving it 1,000%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that can lead to failure right there. You know why? Because you're not pacing yourself. You're not pacing. So you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be like, I just can't do it. You got to pace yourself. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. This life is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right.
So pace yourself. Set your boundaries and just stay consistent. That's going to be the key, Tracy.
And that's what we most often fail to. Man, that's deep about giving up. I mean, that was inspiration to me today to hear that about giving up. And hey, man, I appreciate it always when you come and share some wisdom and knowledge, man. I hope some of the people out there, some brothers, taking in some of this information we're talking about on MVP.